Hey movie junkies, welcome back to Twin Flicks, where we always celebrate the magic of movies and physical media with you. Now if you're new to this channel, what we do here is we typically do side-by-side 4K versus Blu-ray comparison reviews, and if it's worth upgrading from your previously released Blu-ray to the new 4K UHD restoration, or if you don't have the previous Blu-ray, if it's worth shelling out your money to pick up the new 4K. And if you haven't done so already, consider being a subscriber and hit that notification bell to be notified when new videos drop, because I have a lot coming up. But today, as you can tell by the title of this video, we are talking about Arrow Video's newly released 4K UHD presentation collector's box set of American Werewolf in London. I'm sure a lot of you out there have already picked this up, but we are going to be doing a side-by-side comparison between the previously released Arrow Video 1080p Blu-ray and this 4K. So if you've been following us for a while now, then you already know that I reviewed Arrow's 4K restoration that was put on a 1080p Blu-ray disc a couple of years ago. I believe it was in 2018. And now with Arrow Video diving into the 4K UHD format, they have re-released this in a terrific box set in 4K UHD. And I'm going to compare the previous Arrow 1080p Blu-ray with this new 4K UHD, and as usual I have some screenshots I'm going to show to compare the two formats. The UHD with the higher resolution and HDR color grading, this is the definitive presentation. The whole presentation just looks fresher, crisper, clearer, and cleaner than ever before, with more depth and richer color balances. Now, problem I noted with the previously released Blu-ray, in fact, all the previously released Blu-rays from Universal, was crushed blacks during night scenes or dimly lit scenes. Now we have deeper, inkier blacks that are richer and more defined with great shadow nuances and no nighttime crush, unlike some of the previous Blu-ray releases had. And thanks to the HDR grading giving much more lifelike looks, especially with brilliant reds, lush greens, deep blues, and yellows. In fact, anytime scenes are in the hospital and on the streets of London, they look much sharper with added dimensionality to them. A highlight is the tunnel stalking sequence, which just looks breathtaking. I'm also very impressed with the overall details that are rendered much more redefined, where you can make out every stitch of threading in clothes and furniture, but the standout is of course the famous transformation scene. And holy crap, I was really impressed. The details and crisp of every strand of hair and the revolutionary makeup effects look lifelike and very detailed. However, I will say that also because of the higher resolution, there are times where the effects do show off its age. But honestly, that's just something you have to expect with an older film like this. One of the biggest questions I did have, and that I always ask myself, is how is the grain structure? Did they DNR this to death? And very happily, they did not. The grain structure is kept to a minimum, giving it that very nice filmic look that we all love. However, I did notice there are times during darker moments where the grain spike is pretty high, but it's not intrusive. The image is also much more stable than the Blu-ray, and I found no compression artifacts. Make no mistake, American Werewolf in London 4K UHD is a standout presentation, and I have to give Arrow big props for this one. Now, this does include two audio tracks, the DTS 5.1 mix and also the original mono mix. And this is the same 5.1 mix as on the original Arrow 2018-2019 release. I will just say that the 5.1 track is a clear winner and is a fantastic sounding mix that takes full advantage of all the surround channels and atmospheric effects and really opens up the soundstage. So I'm giving Arrow Video's 4K UHD presentation of An American Werewolf in London a stellar 5 out of 5. Arrow Video has been knocking it out of the park with each one of the 4K UHD releases, and this is no exception. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I have been before. So tell me down below in the comments, which do you prefer? The 4K UHD or the Blu-ray presentation? Well, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule for spending a few minutes with us with this 4K comparison review video. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to see more comparison review videos, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as always, keep doing your part in keeping physical media alive, and I'll see you next time.